There's a difference between a logos tutorial and a feature overview. This is going to be more of an overview to show you the capabilities of what logos can do. And Corey and I were just talking before we started, and I was like, we were saying that sometimes it can be overwhelming because there's so much to it. And some of that's by design, just to show you how in depth it is. But don't fret. The recommendation is, latch on to one or two features, master those, and then move on to something else. Because I've been using logos. See, I've been working with logos for about 6.5 years, and I used it 10 years prior to that. And I'm still, Corey, just like you learned something new the other day, I learned something new almost every day. So you're in good company if you have it or you see this and you feel like it's a lot, because it is a lot. So this will be an overview. And so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and share my screen, and we're gonna talk about not just the features of what logos can do. We're going to spend a ton of time with that, but spend a lot of time just talking about which package you should get, which one we recommend for different uses and whatnot. So again, I'm gonna have you covered the whole way. So just sit back, relax for the next 45, 50 minutes or so, and we'll be ready to go. So this is Logos 10. Right. So Logos 10 came out almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago. And so some of the things that we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to highlight some of the key features of Logos 10, so that those of you who may have an earlier version will know, hey, maybe I may want to upgrade on that because I don't have that feature. But this is the home screen. This is what it looks like when you first launch Logos. Right. So what you see here across the top, I have what's called some cards. It's our dashboard, and you can customize this. So for me, I have a prayer journal up here. I have my devotional. I have a basic Bible study workflow, which I'm going to show you in greater detail a little bit later on. I have a reading plan. So you can customize a reading plan where you can just click on this card and it'll tell me what my verses are for the day. And so you can see this little red behind indicator that tells me I'm behind in my reading plan. So I'll get caught up on that here soon. But what I want to show you first is how, if you're using paper Bibles right now, or even if you're using some online resources, I'm going to show you how, with the power of logos, you can have multiple resources open at the same time, and they will all work in sync. So here's the visual. Some of you, this is true for you right now. You're at your office, you're at your desk, you're at your kitchen table, your dining room table, and you have Bibles and books just spread all over the place, right? And because they're spread all over the place, one, it's kind of cluttered, and two, once you change one resource, the other resources don't change. But with logos, you can set all of your resources to be completely in sync. So watch this. So I'm going to click this button here, and you can see I have 3 versions of the Bible that just opened up. I have the CSB, the ESV, and the King James Version. You can set your logos up to work out any way you like. I just chose CSB, ESV, and King James. Again, you can set your preferred ones, but I have all 3 of them up. And let's say I'm reading the CSB, and I'm just going to scroll down. Notice how the ESV and the King James both scroll at the same time. All right. So why is that important? Well, as you're doing Bible study, and you guys know this, I mean, you're following Corey, so I know you know this, that it's always good to look at different translations when you're studying the Bible to see how the translators, handle the text. There may be some slight variations in how the translators handle the text. So to have that in one screen with all 3, or you can have 4 or 5, I just have 3 up, open at the same time, and they can scroll. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how you can add commentaries. So what I just did was added 3 commentaries at the bottom. I have the CSB Study Bible Notes, I have the ESV Study Bible, and I have the Spurgeon Study Bible Notes. And I have them all linked together so that, again, as I'm reading through let's say the CSB or the ESV, and I'm scrolling, all resources are scrolling at the same time. Right. So right here alone, you can see how much time is being saved. Your desk is not cluttered. Your spouse, a significant other, your roommates, what have you, they're not mad at you anymore because your desk is all cluttered. Everything is nice and organized. Right. So the next thing I want to show you, I'm going to add another layer to this. I'm going to add in what's called the information window. Someone said it's like being a movie, being here in Christ. That's funny. So I just added the information window, which is over here on the far right-hand side. So why is that important? What does that give us? It gives us information. Hence the term information window. But let's say I am reading something in the text and I don't know what the definition is. Currently, what you're probably doing is, if you're using paper Bibles, now you have another Bible on the table. You've opened up a dictionary or Bible dictionary. You have to flip through in alphabetical order to find the word that you're looking for, or heaven forbid, you're going to Google, right? And here's my slight commercial on Google. Google is great. Google is great. If you want to look and check to see, when the Cowboys play. Hey, Corey, I know you're in Texas with me. Are you a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, I love watching the Cowboys. I love every time they lose.
Oh my goodness. This webinar may end real early. But if you want to see when the Cowboys are playing, or if you want to get directions, or you want to get some ratings on a restaurant, Google is great for that. But in terms of theological knowledge, we like to say Google makes a horrible theologian, right? Because you just don't know where the resources are coming from. But with Logos, you have trusted theological resources, and all you have to do is click one button. All right, so I'm off my Google soapbox now. Now I'm back. All right, so I'm reading the text, and I come to a word, let's say I don't understand, right? Let's say I'm in verse 5 in chapter 3, verse 5, and it says, truly I tell you, unless someone is born of water and the spirit. All right, let's say I want to see what that word spirit means. Now keep your eyes on the far right hand side. What I'm going to do is just rest my cursor on the word spirit. That's all I'm going to do is rest my cursor. Watch this. Boom. Automatically, Logos just went through all of my Bible dictionaries, all of my encyclopedias, all of my Greek, my Hebrew books, all of that, and all of them opened up to the word spirit. All because I just rested my cursor on the word spirit, and Logos did the rest. Now let's pop over here and see what it gave me. So again, it gives me definitions. And someone is asking about the screen getting bigger. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do that. So I do apologize for that. Someone told her to lean closer to the screen. Man, that's a friend for you right there. Man, you guys, the love I feel on this webinar is thick. So I have definitions, I have translations, right? So like I said, I have the CSB, the ESB, and the New King James here. But if I wanted to see how the NASB handled it, all I have to do is rest my cursor on it, and it's all right there, right? If I want to see how, let's say, the New Living Translation is all right there, or whatever translations you have in your library, Logos is going to give you how it handles that particular text. Now I scroll down. Now I'm into the word info section. So now I know what the definition is. I know how it's handled in different translations. Now I'm into the Greek or the Hebrew. In this case, I'm into the Greek because I'm in the New Testament. Now I can rest my cursor on that word. It shows me the Greek word, and it tells me, you see 379, the number 379. That tells me that this word spirit is utilized 379 times in the Bible. And it tells me in color form, in the dark blue there, spirit or spirits with apostrophe S, or spirits or plural S, breath or ghost. So it tells me how that word spirit is used throughout the Bible, and I can click it and open up another window, and I can do an even deeper dive into the word study. Right. So Corey and I were just talking. He's going to seminary in Dallas Theological, and he's going to certainly have some Greek and Hebrew there. And this is going to be a tremendous help for him as he may already be a Greek and Hebrew scholar. I don't know. He may be. I don't know. He's already told me he's a horrible football team picker. So I don't know if he knows Greek or Hebrew or not. But if he doesn't, he has some help with Logos. Now, you won't be able to hear this, but there's a speaker icon. I can click this speaker icon, and it'll pronounce the Greek or Hebrew for me. And why is that important? As you're studying, as you're reading, as you're preaching, as you're teaching, and you want to give that Greek word. I mean, we jokingly say when we do our stage presentations, we jokingly say the last thing you want to do, Corey, is if you're talking about the word love and you're trying to, be fancy and give the Greek, the last thing you want to do is say agape. Right? That word is not agape, that word is agape, right? So Logos will help you pronounce the Hebrew or Greek words so that you know the correct pronunciation. So now we have concordances and so on, preaching themes. And so if I'm going to preach on spirit, it's going to give me preaching themes that I can click on. It's going to open up in another window and so on. So let me pause here. What did I do? I've shown you the capabilities of having multiple resources open at the same time. I've shown you how they can all work in sync. I've shown you how just hovering over a word can launch you into a word study and an in-depth study of that particular word. So let me pause. Let's check the comments and see if you have any additional questions or thoughts on what you've seen so far, because we are literally just getting started. So Corey, anything sticking out in the chat that you've seen so far?
No, other than the fact that Sheila, I can't see, but someone said, how much of this can you do with the free version of Logos?
Great question. So I'm actually leading at my church. I'm leading a class. It's called the Bible Study in the Digital Age, and most people have the free version of Logos. And for the most part, it's getting them by. It's getting them by okay. But the limitations are this: you don't get all of the full features in Logos. You get pretty much what you've seen so far, other than the Greek or Hebrew. It's not gonna give you that. You won't be able to do a deep dive in Greek and Hebrew, and it's going to give you just a couple of commentaries, a couple of Bibles. But it's a good starter, for someone who's really just starting out studying the Bible. It's a great way to go with the free version. But I would highly recommend. You'll see as we go along that to do a really in-depth Bible study, you definitely want to get one of the paid versions. And I'll go ahead and spill the beans right now, Corey. Because of our partnership here and your audience, I've worked it out so that attendees of this webinar are going to get a 25% discount on the paid version of Logos. So that's huge, right? It's a huge blessing for you guys to be able to do that. All right. Anything else stand out?
I know someone, and we're not really doing the training, but someone asked, could you show them how to link that again? How you did that?
All right. Since they asked, I'm gonna show it's not difficult, right? So I'm gonna show it on one panel because once you do it for one, you'll know how to do it for the others. Okay. So I'm in the CSB over. You know what? Let me do this. Let me close out these other ones so you just have one to look at. So make it a little less confusing on the screen. I'm on the far right hand side. I think you can see my cursor moving over there. Mm-hmm. There's three little dots, the little menu section there. I'm gonna click that. And this first row right at the top, it says link set A, B, C, D, E, and F. So what that means is whatever alphabet you put that panel on, whether or not it's A or B or C or D, just make sure the other panels that you want to be in sync are set to the same alphabet. So what I just had before was all of those resources, the Bibles and the commentaries, they were all set on A. That's why they were able to sync. So you're probably saying, well, why is there a B, a C, or a D, or E and F? Well, you can have some resources on A, you can have other resources on B, and you can have some on C, and you can have all types of things going on. That's when you're doing core and minor type study. At that point, you have multiple resources and all three of them sync in. But that's how you do it. So hopefully that was fairly easy to follow. All right, now someone says I have the paid version of Logos 9, so I'm seeing if these features translate to my version. Yes, so if you have Logos 9, you have Logos 8, 7. So far, it's all the same. It's just been enhanced a little faster, but we haven't gotten into anything that if you had 9, you won't get. But that's about to change.
That was always one of the things that when I was first shopping around for the right Bible software. And I guess because I haven't seen it yet, I haven't experienced that, but I guess previously, and I think I saw somewhere in the past someone brought up that Logos wasn't as fast, but now it is. Because I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed that Logos is any slower than anything else. And truth be told, with all that it brings to the table, I could probably see why that might have been in the past, but I don't see it as slower now compared to, let's say, Accordance or anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that is one of the key highlights of Logos 10 is that it's been made faster, especially if you have a Mac. So it's faster on a PC, but it's much faster on a Mac if you have the M1 chip. And I think they're at M2 right now. And I think it's been announced at the most recent Apple developers conference that I think they're going to go into M3. I might be wrong on that, but I know for sure
M4 right now.
M4. See, I'm a little behind. So with M1, if you have M1 and higher, then it's super fast. That's why everything is clicking so fast right now, is because I have an M1 chip on this particular Mac that I'm using, but it works perfectly fine on a PC. So what I want to show you now is something called the Factbook. Now, I clown Google a little bit because I can't, right? But what I'm trying to do is encourage people not to go to Google for their theological research and their study and their lookups. Factbook is where you want to go for that instead. So I will show you where I got this from. On the left-hand side, I have options here. One about halfway down is called a Factbook. This Factbook in Logos 10 has tons more information than it did in Logos 9. A lot more information. And I didn't mention this in the beginning, but Logos works on your laptop or desktop. It works on your mobile device, your phone, or your tablet. And some features are available on the desktop that aren't on the phone and so forth, but Factbook is available on your mobile phone. So how does it work? Well, you open it up and it has a blank box at the top. The last time I was in here, I looked at the word baptism. So let's say we want to look at marriage. All right, let me change it from baptism to marriage. You're doing some study. You want to hear what the Bible, or read what the Bible has to say about marriage. You see how quickly that opened up? So here it gives me definitions. These are hyperlinks. So I can get more information on marriage. I have articles here. The Bible I'm reading. The Bible often refers to marriage in stories, in the law of Moses, and in metaphors and so forth. So it gives you all of this information, marriage in the Bible, hyperlinks to scriptures, right? I'm scrolling down. I have further reading. So it gives me the links to open up books that are in my Logos library. So I can do that. It has media. So it has graphics and videos and art and so forth. Scroll down. all of the key passages in the Bible that talk about marriage right here in a split second, right? So if you didn't have a tool like Logos and you wanted to study what the Bible has to say about marriage, then it would take you forever, right? And that's with just one Bible translation, maybe even two Bible translations. How about it searched all, in my case, I have like 9,800 resources in my Logos library, and it searched all of them with us in a split second, and it gives me all this information just like that. And so here are all the key passages in the Bible. I can read them here in a brief synopsis. I can hover, it'll give me more information, or I can click on it and it'll give me the full text of that particular scripture. Scrolling down, biblical senses. So now we're talking about the morphology of the word. Now, dictionaries, right? So this right off the top shows up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can click more. So all these are dictionaries. Look, all of these are dictionaries, in separate dictionaries, and they're all opened up to the word marriage, right? Monographs. So other reading material on marriage. Systematic theologies. Now, Corey, on your channel, I don't know if you get much into systematic theology or not, but systematic theology books are included in most of your Logos packages. So what just happened was, again, all I typed was marriage. Logos opened up all of my resources to get, including my systematic theology books, automatically opened up. Cultural concepts. Why is that important? Well, we know how we view marriage in 2024, but how was marriage viewed back at the time when the Bible was written? So that's called a cultural concept. So whatever you're studying, Logos will give you the cultural concept of how it was viewed at the time the text was written. That's important because we got to know what the original author intended, and that's what Logos helps us do. I'm going to keep on scrolling down. Theological journals, right? So if you have one of the higher packages of Logos, like if you're in the seminary version, the pastor's version, and so forth, you're going to want and need theological journals. They're included in Logos. And guess what? They're automatically opened up to marriage. So I have theological journals ready to go on marriage. Keep on going down. Sermons. Now, Corey, I'm still in Factbook. I'm still in that one feature. I was type, man, we could call it a day once I finish Factbook. We could, but not, but we could. Right. So here's sermons. If I wanted to read sermons written by, let's say, Charles Spurgeon on marriage, here's 3 sermons right here built into my logo. So I can click it, open it up. I can read exactly how Spurgeon preached on marriage in 3 different occasions. If you're a John Piper fan, as an example, 11 sermons that Piper wrote on marriage, right? Sam Rutherford, Jonathan Edwards, and so forth. Now, keep on down. You have preaching resources. So if you're a preacher or a teacher, or you lead Bible study, or your Bible study at home, doesn't have to be a church. You're leading your family in Bible study. You want some preaching and teaching resources. They're all right here based on marriage. Recommended reading, books from my library that are included, additional Factbook entries, bookstore. If I wanted to buy some additional books, in case you don't have enough already, if you want to buy some more books and add them to your Logos library, Logos has recommendations there. All right. So that's the basics of the Factbook. But then we get to this section called Dig Deeper. Now, once I get to dig deeper, it does just that. I can dig deeper to get a deeper study on marriage. I can open up something called the topic study, and it will rearrange all of my panels so that it's all talking about marriage. All right, so let me just do that. Let me just click on that just to show you what I'm talking about here. A deeper dive into Factbook on marriage. All right, so here's my Factbook on the left. All right, I have my Bible up here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commentaries that opened up automatically. I got a topic guide. I have a Bible word study and so forth. So all of that because I clicked on marriage and all this information pulled up. Now, with that said, I'm going to pause and see if anyone has any questions on Factbook and all that it includes. Anything yet? Yes.
One of the things that when I first, I'm like a lot of people. I had the free version of Logos, and okay, fine. And then I think I saw a demonstration by somebody, and like, all right, that's a lot,
right?
And then I was actually on the phone with Alan one day, and he was taking me through this stuff. I think, matter of fact, it might have been you and him together, or him by himself. And I'm like, that's just too much. However, when I upgraded and I paid for a package, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the packages, when you see the sticker price, it's not quite as bad as you think it is. First of all, because there are payment plans, but also one of the things that I didn't pay attention to, Johnson, was this. On that homepage, there is a little basic tutorial that it's like, wow, this is right here. You big dummy. It's literally right here. And so if I had just bothered to look, and so some of the folks say, hey, it might seem difficult or overwhelming. There literally is a tutorial. You can pick the spot that you want to go to, and you'll think, wow, that's not difficult at all. As we say, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, because if you're an old dog, you tend not to want to learn a new trick, but it's right. I promise you, the tutorials are very helpful.
They're very helpful. Excuse me. Me and my team do tutorials all the time as well. Excuse me. You can actually also go to logos.com/webinars. and good buddy of mine, Mike Brown, leads that team who creates the video tutorial content right there. And so again, we won't leave you hanging. It's a lot, but we won't leave you hanging. So, man, I'm looking at some of the comments here, Corey, and I must say, man, your audience is hilarious.
Yeah, they are. It's one big family, and so I think we have the best online family in all of the history of the world.
Man, I cannot disagree from what I'm seeing. Someone said this, I'm liking Factbook. This is going to make me dive back into my free version of Logos 9. Oh, somebody blessed Jermaine with the free version. That's all right.
Amen.
All right. So next up is something called a workflow. Now, Corey, you're not living in the Dallas area. I know you probably frequented this store called IKEA. You ever been at the big blue building?
I'm allergic to it. I've been there twice in my life.
I've been allergic to it. Now, why are you allergic to it? Because you spend a lot of money there, or something you don't like about IKEA? Why are you allergic?
No, I don't like big stores because big stores just mess me up. I like to get in and get out, and so you can't get in and out of IKEA.
I thought you were going to say because you have to put the furniture together. That's why most people.
Well, I actually do have. You guys can. There's a bookshelf over there from IKEA over there, and it took me an hour and a half to put together.
So you got the bookshelf, you got it home, you opened it up. Did you follow the instructions?
I followed the instructions. I didn't go to IKEA. I ordered it.
You ordered. Okay.
Yeah,
you followed the instructions.
All the instructions.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because what I want to talk about next is called workflows. Now, workflows are built into Logos, and workflows are kind of like those IKEA instructions. They tell you step by step on how to do something within Logos, whether or not you're doing a basic Bible study, you're doing an expository sermon, you want to write an expository sermon. And so multiple types of workflows. And I want to show you one of them right now because they are fantastic. I mentioned that I'm leading my church in a Bible study class, and we're doing that class using what I'm about to show you right now, which is a basic Bible study workflow. All right, so let me share my screen again, and we'll get back into it. I think you guys would love this. So we're going to go to guides and workflows. I want to go to basic Bible study workflow. All right. So what it's asking me here is, well, what passage do you want to study? All right. That's what it's asking. So let's go with basic old John 3:16 as an example. So you put in whatever the text is that you want. I'm going to hit enter. And just like that, just like those IKEA instructions, they're going to walk me through step by step how to do a basic Bible study. Now, why is this important? It is important because a lot of people do great at just reading the Bible, and that's great. Obviously, you want to start there, but it's going to give you a systematic way to study the Bible. It's going to give you some of those guardrails, like when you go to the bowling alley and they put those bumpers up. If you're not, can't bowl too well, well, the basic Bible study is kind of like that. It's going to guide you along, right? You can't mess up. Just stay on the path. So I'm going to walk through this for you. Step one: read your passage. Okay, read your passage. So that's pretty basic. Read it. So on the right-hand side, it tells you what you should be doing as you read the passage. It's suggesting that you use the highlighting tool, which means that you can, just like a regular, those neon color highlighters with paper Bibles, you can do that. All right. Now it says, click more, desired outcomes. What do you hope to get out of it from reading your passage? It tells you, it gives you an explanation, even gives you a book for further reading, right? And then the next thing it's going to do is take you to the text that you're studying. Now, some of you may have noticed that every time I go to a Bible in Logos, it defaults to the CSB. That's because when you first install Logos, it asks you what your preferred Bible translation is. And that way, every time you do something, it's going to go to that one first. All right. So, and then you can rank them in order. You might say CSB first and ESV and so forth. So whatever your favorite translations are, you can actually rank them in Logos or prioritize them in Logos. And that's how to pull up. Now, Corey, let me ask you, what's your preferred translation? You're a CSB guy, ESV? What you kind of?
I'm in the NASB because that's the one that gets the least amount of pushback. If I go to ESV, I got people saying, "Why are you using ESV?"
Yeah.
King James Version. So I'm using two of them in ASB, and then in here when my own studies, I'm also using the Net Bible as well.
Gotcha.
Because we've got some people at DTS that have also people at DTS that they've contributed just about all of these different translations, not all of them, but a large portion of them, but the Net Bible is another that I like to use.
Well, if you chose to, you can put the Net at number one or NASB again, whichever one. You can put them in order, and then you're set. It's going to automatically go there. All right. So as I read the text, Next, it asks me this. It says, what questions or insights do you have about the passage? Take note about anything in the text that's confusing, surprising, challenging, or hard to understand. Record your questions here and keep them in mind as you explore your passage further. So here's an empty text box where I can answer that question. What insights or questions do I have? This has been a tremendous help for the Bible study at my church, because as people read and we're asking them to read with the critical eye, questions come up, right? And so they can type those questions in, right, and go back to them later. All right, let's look at step 2. Read the passage in other translations. All right, we keep talking about translations. So even Logos is recommending that you read it in different translations, and it tells you why, the desired outcomes, and so forth. Text box, all of that's there, right? Then we go into identifying the people in your passage, right? Who the family trees, the genealogy, all that information is all right there. You know, who was the brother, who was the cousin, who was the mama, the dad. It tells you all of that, but it's asking you to identify the people, because obviously that's key to understanding the text that you're reading. All right, and then it gets down to step 4. Cross references. So some folks I found don't use cross references, don't know what they mean. Well, then you follow these steps. Logos is going to walk you through that. It even goes this far, and Corey, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it gets to a section called important passages. So this is where it combs the entire Bible and says, okay, you're studying John 3:16. Let me give you some passages throughout the Bible that we recommend you zero in on as you study John 3:16. If you're just reading the Bible by itself, which is great, again, that's great. But look how more thorough and more detailed you're able to get, because Logos lays everything out automatically for you. So it walks you through cross references. You have a text box again. Then step 5, summarize your packet or your passage. All right, summarize where you're at right now. Man, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep my eyes off these comments because someone just said they're allergic to the Passion version. That's another whole story. So summarize your passage. And again, it's just that summary. Where are you at with it? What are you learning? What are you gleaning from what you've read so far? Mm-hmm. Now, interesting enough, Corey, we don't get to commentaries until step 6. Step 6 is where we get. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people will read the Bible and go straight to the commentaries, right? Yeah. That's just like, I don't know how old you are, Corey, but back in my day, we had something called the Cliff Notes. And that's where you would kind of skip ahead, and you had that assignment and you didn't do the reading like you were supposed to. You try to read the Cliff Notes. Well, we recommend that you don't do that until much later. Let you go into the text, you study, you dive in, you do the work, and then you seek out some commentary help. Number 7, develop the passage's theological principles. Number 8, apply the principles to yourself. Awesome. Number 8. And then number 9, share insights. So once you're done, you can type a message sharing what you've learned from this, and then you can share your insights to Facebook or X or email or what have you. So now you're spreading, you're evangelizing, telling people what you learned from going through this basic Bible study workflow. So this is just one workflow out of many. So let me go back and show you some of the other types we have. Again, that was a basic Bible study workflow. We have the biblical person study. We have the biblical place study, the theme study, the topical study. We even have some others who contributed to our program here, Brian Chappell's Christ-Centered Sermon Preparation. You have a devotional workflow where it walks you through how to do an effective devotional, right? Then we have the English word study. Man, again, so you seminary folks, or you just want to do more in-depth word study, we have that as well. Expository sermon preparation. And it's so many. I'm just scrolling. It's just so many of them here. And each one of these different types of workflows does just what you just saw, which takes you through steps 1 through 9 or 8 or what have you as to how to do that particular workflow. So, man, that's the basic Bible study workflow. Love workflows, and hope you guys will too. So, any thoughts, any questions as we chat the chat?
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. The fact, the first thought that came to my mind is how this is laid out is real similar to how you're asked to do things and kind of even show your work in seminary. But the thing is, though, this was something that former pastors and mentors would have me do before seminary. So, because it helps you to explain. So these are things that once you get kind of used to doing these things, it really becomes second nature. I have commentaries. They tend to be, third or fourth thing that I might look at if I'm looking at a passage that might be a little bit, let's see, it might be controversial or debated. So let's see what different people think. And so you do want to kind of get away from commentaries. You want to get to the point to where you understand how to navigate through the scriptures, and you feel like that the way you do it is good enough. Not that you're not going to be on par with the writer of a commentary, but you want to feel comfortable enough to know that, hey, I'm handling the text properly. And I think that anybody that wants to know Christ better, you want to know his word better. And this is one of those tools. And so I think people in the chat are pretty impressed. I'm impressed. And again, it always comes back to, this is a lot. This is a lot. It's more. And it's one of those things where it's a lot, but it's not too much.
Totally. And again, I'm just, even at the end of this hour, I'm just going to barely be touching the surface. But there's just a couple of things if you can hang on to, like the fact book as an example. And you can, as you can see, you can hang out in fact book all day for a long time and you'll be good. Basic Bible study workflow, you would be good for a long time. This next one that I'm going to show you, someone said their mind was blown, and I'm just getting started. And this next one is usually the one where people really start to lose their minds on.
Mhm.
This one includes a feature that is totally unique to Logos 10, and you have to have Logos Gold and higher to get this feature. But I'll show you that in a second. So what I'm talking about now is searching. I want to set the stage for you. You are at home, or you are at a physical library, or at home you have all the books on a bookshelf, and you have like probably hundreds and hundreds of books on your shelves. And you want to search for something in those books. And right now, I can imagine what that looks like is you're going to have to figure out, okay, which book am I looking for that has to deal with baptism or sanctification, what have you. Have to look through, right? And then you have to pick the book off the shelf, and then you have to kind of scroll through and find out where it is. And that's just one book. And then you find another book, right? It can take forever. We've been doing that for years, though. But with Logos, I want to show you the search feature. Now, I'm on here on the left-hand side on the menu. You see search right on the library. I'm going to click that. And when I get to search, Logos is asking me, what do you want to search? Right? Do you want to search everything? Right? And again, I have 9,800 books in my library. If you have the pastor's version of Logos, which is the diamond version of Logos, you have about 2,100 resources there. If you have platinum, you have less and so on. But even if you have the silver, you have hundreds of resources. Logos can search all of them. So again, that visual I gave you of books on the bookshelf, imagine being able to type in the word you want to search, hit one button, and Logos opens up all of those books all at the same time. That's what we're talking about here. So let's do an all search. Let's say we want to search for, I don't know, justice. This is the word justice. I'm going to hit enter. And just like that, see that M1 chip kicked in, and all of my books on justice in my Logos library just opened up automatically, right? All of my features, everything just opened up. You see definitions there. I see the fact book. We just talked about fact book a few minutes ago. It opened up justice in the fact book, right? The CSB, that's my preferred translation. So it's going to tell me anything as to what the Bible has to say, the CSB in this case, about justice. There's my scriptures, right? I have other informative information from other resources. I have documents. Now, what's a document? A document is anything that I create in Logos, whether or not it's a sermon or a lesson or anything I put together in Logos gets stored into documents. Well, Logos even searches my own documents that I created that have to do with, in this case, justice. Maps.
Okay, wait a second. Hold on. Wait
Sure.
So if I'm putting together, I didn't know this. So I'm putting together notes,
Yes.
right? And in my notes, I'm covering something about justice.
Yes, sir.
And I save that. And it's 6 months later. I don't have to, it'll pull it up for me.
It'll pull it up for you.
Wow. Okay.
It'll pull it up for you.
I do that.
Yes,
I do that when I go through, if I'm covering something, well, I have notes on this. Let me go back and search this or research this all over again. If I had that would save a lot of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And here's one that's good for me personally, Corey, because my undergrad degree is in biology. I had a phobia to geography. Man, math was just not my thing. And if we ever play Jeopardy and they ask geography questions, don't have me on your team because you lose it, right? But with Logos, and especially in the Bible, we know how important geography is to the Bible, right? So it gives you maps that, now when you purchase Logos, you own the license to this stuff. So you can take these maps and these other and copy and paste into a PowerPoint or Word, what have you. You have access to all of that, right? So I'm just going to scroll down just to show you the wealth of information that's pulled up on justice in my entire library. So my library I have 71 books that have justice in the title, or it's about justice. It automatically categorizes them for me in my Logos library. So just more and more and more and more. All right, so let me go up to Bible, right? So I'll keep justice in there. Now I'm telling Logos, just search my Bibles, not my commentaries, not my just the Bible, right? So what does the Bible has to say about justice? There we go. And you see, it even has the words highlighted throughout all these scriptures. So if you want to do a study on justice in this example, man, the work is done for you. Now, your job as a user of Logos is to go and actually study it. Right? We've taken care of the upfront work, the hard work, which is to find the resources. We've made that easy for you. You still got to put in the work. So here's all the information, all the texts that deal with justice. You can see them highlighted there. Now, this next one, this is the one where people lose their minds on. And this is where I search Logos just for books. Again, not Bibles, not commentary, but my books in Logos. So let me hit enter. And I can click this arrow here, and here are all of my books in logos that talk about justice. Okay, that's good. But here it is right here. Here's a game stopper right here, Corey. It's something called the print library. Let me explain that. I'm gonna take my time on this. This is a new feature, Logos 10 Gold and higher. I have the Logos app installed on my phone. Someone just asked, Garrett Christian Wayne asked, can you use it on your phone? Yep, you can. Good segue. I have the Logos app on my phone. I open up the feature or click on the feature called the Print Library Scanner. Once I click the Print Library Scanner, it's going to pull up my camera on my phone. Then I go and take said book off of the shelf in my physical library, and I scan the ISBN code or that barcode on the back of my physical book. Once I do that, and it takes seconds, once I do that, that physical book is now in my Logos library. I'm gonna just pause right there because I don't want this mic to drop and hurt my arm.
Wait a second. So what if if I have a book?
Yes, sir.
And before doing the ISBN deal,
yes, sir.
If I go to logos.com and look at the books and browse and I don't see that book, you mean that I can still get that book in Logos?
So here's the caveat. Good point. The caveat is, as long as that book is in one of the 180,000 books we have in the Logos library, you're good.
Okay.
So if on the off chance you don't have, that book is not in our catalog, again, 180,000 books to choose from. If it is one of them, so now let's look at the screen now. So I have scanned, I think I have 17 of them that I scanned, right? So it even tells you, here's a synopsis. Now you can't read the book from cover to cover. However, you will have access to whatever you're searching. And in this case, I search what? Justice. So it's going to give me the synopsis from that book on justice. Not only does it do that, it also tells me what page to turn to in that physical book. So I can now get that book off the shelf, turn the page, in this case, what, pages 9 to 11 or 13 to 23 or 25 to 26 in this particular book. And now I'm studying justice in that physical book. So now if I want to, purchase Logos, which I hope and pray that all 148 on live stream and the thousands who will watch this recording. Now, if I want to make a purchase of Logos and you saying, I already have a lot of these books. Well, purchase your paid version of Logos. You don't necessarily have to buy those books again that aren't in your Logos library. Just scan them in and you have them. It's as simple as that. I mean, and it tells you what page to turn to in that, right? So there's no excuse for us not being able to have all the resources we want and need to study, right? So that is the print library feature, new to Logos 10, gold and higher. And again, all you have to do is go to the search feature, search your books, and it's all there. So let me just pause and see. I know that was a lot right there. So let me pause and see if anybody has any questions on anything you've seen so far, whether it's print library, Factbook, or anything at this point.
I know. I'm going to look at these books I have over here. I need to go ahead and just do that. I need to go ahead and do that. There's another book I got over here, and I don't know what my problem is. Rico Boyce has a question. He says, with ISBN scanner, I've scanned physical books, but still only had a limited preview and was being prompted to purchase the book via Logos Shop. I have the gold package. Is this because the book I scanned was not included in the gold package?
No, that's a great question. So again, when you use the search feature, that's the beauty of the print library feature, is the search feature. When you go to search, it's going to pull that information from the physical book in the search. If you just try to go open that book like you're trying to, again, if you're trying to read it from cover to cover, it's going to say, no, it's just going to give you a preview. If you want to do that cover to cover, you have to purchase it. But if you want to, again, use a search feature and let Logos find where in that book the topic that you're searching for is, and give you a synopsis of it, that's what it's there for. So again, I want to mislead, and people think that, oh, I got the whole book in my library. You have access to it, to the sections that you're searching for, and that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it.
Yeah, one of the things I have noticed, I've got some books that I did see, and I don't think it might not be the case for all of the books, but a lot of the books that I wanted to get, that I saw other places, are also a lot cheaper. And so, I don't know if that's always the case, but some of the books I saw that I have in my cart right now are a lot cheaper on Logos. Of course, Logos is always sending out free books as well, and then some at a discount, almost like every week, every day, every month, definitely.
Yeah, you get actually, when you get Logos, you get a free book of the month, and there are no junk books either. I mean, there's some good commentaries. Good, you get an email every month. Click here to get the free version of it, and it's great. So you tons of resources. There's sales on resources all the time. And I'll leave my contact information with everyone. So if you want to check with me and see if any special deals are going on, let me know. I have no problem sharing my email address, my phone number for people who want to reach out, and and I can help them in any way I can. I'll be more than happy to.
And let me just say this: we're going to get to this. There's a question that keeps popping up, similar question about packages and things like that. What is silver, gold, and so forth, and the different, So we will get to that just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, we will. And yes, tutorials are free. They are available. And I don't know, Corey, if you mind maybe typing this into the chat, logos.com/webinars. That's one way you can go. Another place you can go is logos.com/pro. All right, I'll go ahead and type that one in.
You said /webinars?
Yes, sir. /webinars. So www.logos.com/pro. Free tutorials right there. Free. Now there's some paid ones out there, but hey, free is free, because we want you to spend all your money on logos and give you the free training. No, just kidding. Now, so we're at 8 minutes to the top of the hour, right? I want to show maybe 2 more things, Corey, and I love if you wouldn't mind showing folks, how you use logos when you put together your study materials for your YouTube channel. I know you already said that you run into a glitch with using logos with your streaming software. It has nothing to do with logos or anything, but we're gonna get that fixed, right? But want to hear and see how your screen looks when you study and get ready for your logos or your YouTube content. Then I'm gonna get my popcorn ready for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 other things I want to show you, and they're both called interactives. Right now, if what you've seen isn't as interactive enough for you, we have features that are actually called interactives. So these are ways that you can interact with the text and make the study just come alive that much more. All right, so let me share my screen again. I'm going to show you. There's several of them. I'm just going to show you 2 of them today. 2 of my favorite ones. Again, these are interactives. I'm going to go to my tools menu, and I'm going to scroll down and get to the interactive media section. You see that, and look at all these interactive media options that we have. The first one I want to show is the Psalms Explorer. Now, before I click this, Corey, I'm going to ask, you, like all of us, probably love studying the Psalms, right?
Yeah. What's interesting, we haven't been in Psalms a lot, but I do love the Psalms. Matter of fact, my favorite verse, someone asked before, my all-time favorite, not verse, but section is Psalms 3.
Wow. Well, watch that. Have you ever seen the Psalms Explorer before?
I think I've seen it once.
Okay. I was going to say, if you have, I promise you've never studied the Psalms like this. All right. So here we go. Psalms Explorer. And let me make this a little bigger for you. So here are all 150 Psalms from top to bottom, right? Psalm 1 all the way through 150. All right. You probably say, that's not too special. It's just a list of 1 to 150. Not too special. But watch this. I want to study the Psalms by genre. So I'm going to click over here. Where it says by genre, click that, look at that, boom. So Logos has now taken all of the Psalms and created these little bubbles that represent the Psalms, and they're separated by genre. So these Psalms in the top right-hand section, the blue Psalms, the blue bubbles, are Psalms of lament. The ones in the red on the left side, they're Psalms of praise. So then we have royal, trust, thanksgiving, wisdom, and so on. And then let's say I want to search by author. Click that, boom, there we go. There are all of the Psalms by author. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that all you have to do is rest your cursor on one of these bubbles, and you have the information about the song. I can click on it. Of course, I can read it. Right? And notice certain bubbles are bigger than others. That's because it gives you a visual, and the size of the bubble corresponds to the size of the psalm. So we all know that Psalm 119 is the biggest psalm. Therefore, it gets the biggest bubble. Right? You can do it by book, in order, and so forth. So let's keep it right here. Now watch this on the left hand side. Let's say someone wants to find a particular psalm that they're looking for, and they don't know the psalms in order. Like most of us don't. I think you said you like Psalm 3, and someone else said Psalm 22 is good. Someone said. But let's say you want to find a psalm that's going to be the right psalm for what you're studying or what you're going through. All you have to do is look on the left-hand side over here, and it's a filtering system. So you see the Psalms of lament, praise, and so forth. So let's say you want to study the Psalms of praise. So you click praise. So there all the Psalms of praise, right? Now I can go to different themes. If I want to look at Psalms that deal with praise and worship, so I click worship. Now it's narrowed it down to all the Psalms that deal with praise and worship. Let's say I want to add in joy. I click joy. Now Logos gives me all the Psalms that deal with praise, worship, and joy. Let's say I want to add in God's faithfulness. There we go. So the Psalms that deal with praise, worship, joy, God's faithfulness, I'm down to 9, all right here. Amazing way to get it straight to the Psalm that you're looking for. That interactive feature is called the Psalms Explorer. Now, let me give you one more. This is one I always like to do in my presentations because I need it the most. Next to maps and geography, this is the second thing I'm the worst at when it comes to the Bible. Now, let me ask you this. Corey, you married, right?
Uh-huh.
You all sit down at the dinner table probably every evening or so. And I don't know if you have kids or not, but you're sitting down. When's the last time the word shekel came up at dinner time?
Oh, we talk about shekels every day. Shekels.
Yeah, right. Get out of here, Corey, man.
Never.
What about a talent? And I don't mean talent like being able to shoot a basketball. I mean, but a talent like in the Bible, right? Never. So when you get to, not you, but when we get to a shekel or a talent in the Bible, because we don't use those words all the time, man, we don't know what it means. Often, if I took a poll right now, which I'm not, because I'm not going to put your audience on blast like that, but if I took a poll to say, when you get to something like a cubit or a talent in the Bible, what do? Most people say they skip it. Most people say they just skip it and try to figure it out. Some people are honest and say they go to Google, but we already told you, get off of that Google when it comes to the Bible. We told you that, get off the Google. That's the word of the day, get off that Google. Right? But you don't know it, right? So I want to show you the weights and measures converter, because what we're talking about with shekels and talents and all that, it's a weight and a measure, right? So I'm going to click that. And here is the weights and measures converter, and it has a bunch of numbers and charts. It's like, no, we're not going to get into the math of that you could, but that's not even the beauty of the weights and measures converter. So what I want to do is I want to type in a weight or a measure, and Logos is going to show me what that weight or measure is. So if you go back to Noah, and he built the ark, the Bible says that it is 300 cubits in width. Now, if I ask people again on this webinar, how wide is 300 cubits? If you give me a representation, the answers will be across the board. And when I do this, people say, about the size of a football field, or it's about, a size of a car. I mean, they range from all over the place. But watch this. I'm going to type in 300 cubits, and Logos tells me that 300 cubits is about 12 city buses, or a little more than 10 humpback whales, or a little less than 7 semi-trucks, less than 3 757 airline jets, or half a Tower Bridge in London. So now, no more skipping it. All you have to do is type it in the weights and measures converter, and Logos tells you exactly what it is. So that feature there, Logos is just showing off of that. They really were just showing off. They were showing off with that one. But it's so helpful, though. Again, no more skipping it, no more guessing. Now you can go back to the text and read it, and now you have a visual of, oh wow, that was really big, or that is really small, or that is really heavy, because now you have something that helps you put it in context. Now with that, my friend, I'm going to hand it over to the man of the hour, Mr. Corey Minor, and let him show us how he uses some of his favorite features. I think you can do a couple of them, and then we're going to talk about which Logos package is best for you and how much it costs. So
okay, so now I'm going to do my very best. You guys know that me and technology doesn't go well. So I'm going to try to share my screen. Let's see, we move my eyes a little bit closer. Click on this button that says share screen. And
move your eyes closer. That's like, what's the lady's name?
Yeah, me and Sheila have the same problem. Let's see. There it is. There it is. Okay, now move this up to where it says, hold on. Y'all got to move this. There it is. Oh, on it. Hold on. Share. And there it is.
There you go. There you go. You got it.
Okay, look at that. Look at that. Now, so what I do, guys, whenever I'm looking up something, let me move my cursor back over here. When I'm looking up something, this is kind of my setup. I'll have, here we've got the NASB, the Net Bible. And so I've got all of these linked. So if I'm looking up a particular passage, a couple things are going to be up. I'm going to have that. I'll have my Greek down here. Can you all see the cursor? I don't know if you all can see my cursor or not. But at this very bottom portion, the bottom right portion, I've got the Greek. And I could put up a different Greek version, but I just go with the NA28. And then also I have over here the Hebrew. I've got the Biblia Hebraica Sucartensia, but then I'll also pull up, because sometimes we want to see what the Septuagint is, and so I've got that lined up. And then right here I've got my 2 Hebrew commentaries. I'm sorry, I've got 1 Hebrew commentary, and then I've got this Hebrew lexicon here. I've got other lexicon, but I'm not going to just wear myself out and put every commentary or every lexicon. There are, I have no idea how many there are, but there's a bunch of them. Then over the bottom left-hand corner, I do have 1 English commentary there, and I probably ought to put over the English up the top right-hand corner with the English version, but I just left right there. But I've got my Greek, the VDAC, and the Greek, what is this version? This is the Analytical Lexicon of the New Testament Greek, so by House and Robinson. I have that here as well. So when I'm going through a particular passage, let's say this is Romans 8:23. Let's see this word grown. If I can click on it, here we have the word that pops up in Romans 8:23. And so this Bible word study, I have this. And if I want to look and see where this word shows up, oh, by the way, it'll even show me this, the Septuagint translation. So if this word happens to show up in the Septuagint, it's there as well. I click on it and it'll take me there to all these different times, Isaiah 24:7, Lamentations 1:8. So I think this is actually pretty cool. So if I want to see how this word is used somewhere else, then that helps, because sometimes are used differently, interchangeably. There's just like in English, there's a nuance with a particular word, be it in Hebrew or Greek. And so I like to also see sometimes Hebrew uses idioms, figures of speeches, and we don't know what that means, or we wouldn't understand it in Hebrew. Like and we use one of the examples, Proverbs 22:6, train a child in the way that he should go, and that idiom that's in it, that figure of speech, is upon the mouth of his way. Well, we don't know what that means, but the Greek will put it that way. Or when Hebrews 10:5 quotes Psalms, a body you have prepared for me. Well, it says meal offerings and ears you have opened. Well, that's a weird statement because it's an idiom, but the Greek gives us that. And so the Septuagint says, so when we read that in Hebrews 10, I can read how we got that from the Septuagint, because oftentimes the New Testament writers and readers and audience, including Jesus, most often quote the Septuagint versus the Hebrew text. And so it's just good to see. But I still want to know what the Hebrew word is and how it's nuanced. But then also over here, one of the cool things, by the way, I'm old school. You know, if you put some colors in front of me, that makes me look up. By the way, one of the cool things that it does here is you might happen to see, if you all see this middle the top middle corner, you might oftentimes you might see, if you can see this little circle, half circle over here, what this is speaking about the prepositions. And so if you see this word all or bay or all, this all right here is on top. The other owl is going through. Bay is in or with, and so it kind of helps you to see this. So when you see that at the front of a word as a prefix, that helps you to understand, okay, that's what that means. So for example, in Genesis, it says bear the sheep. Well, the word is be, which is in. And so, okay, I see where the but part comes from, because here it is, and it kind of gives you a little diagram of it. It's in the very middle of it, in or with. And so it does the same thing with the Greek word. And then one of the other things, I've got all my different, I've got the Factbook set up to go along with it. It's linked to it. I've got the kind of the word study. I've got this here. These are my commentaries. Now, if you scroll down, it's only got a few of them, but I just keep hitting more and keep scrolling down and keep hitting more. Every now and then, if I'm doing a real deep dive into something, for example, I'll be doing a long study, it's taking longer than I thought to kind of go over all this, but on tongues. And so in this case, I'll go through almost all of the commentaries because I want to see what everyone else is saying. But for the most part, I usually don't go through all of the commentaries, but they are there. And so I can look at different topics. This little button above here where I can look at the passage guides, words, which I have them set up already in there. So this is kind of my normal layout, because it just gives me all that I need to use at that moment. And then one of the other features, and so a lot of times you guys may not see this again, for some reason, some quirky way that it's just not working well with the streaming software. And I have no idea why it does that. I really don't know. But when I'm on my regular screen or anywhere else, it works perfectly. So it's not a Logos thing. It's the Ecamm streaming software issue, and I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure that out. But one of the other things that I use, and I found it, and I fall in love with that, and that is this Bible Books Explorer. Matter of fact, let me make this bigger. I think this is so cool. If I can make this bigger, and matter of fact, let's do this. Let's see, am I doing this correctly? Johnson, you know what? Let me close everything out here. I don't know how to do this better. So all I can do is just close this thing out.
There you go.
So when I look up something, let's say y'all seen me do this the other day. If I'm looking at something, let's say Genesis, where else is Genesis? Either for me, some sort of intertext kind of connection. Either it's cited, quoted, alluded to, echoed, or just all of that. One of the areas I look at in Genesis, here we see Genesis, but it also shows up in Galatians. So I click this, move this over. Let me close this out of the way if I can get this over the right way. Matter of fact, let me just do it like this. Close this. And I might be doing this the rough way, but y'all forgive me. Close all of this stuff out. Let me move this over. And Chauncey, maybe there is a better way for me to do this, but I don't know. So
you got it.
Okay. So what it does is it shows me where, or different places where this is cited or shown at. So if I'm looking at, as I said, in Genesis, I want to see where this is also attested to. And so Genesis, one particular passage I'm looking for somewhere in Galatians. So in Galatians, What does the scripture say about cast of bond? Matter of fact, let me do this. I'll do all. That way I can do it. I like this better. Because there's a particular passage in Genesis that I want to look for that is cited or attested to in Galatians. And so by clicking it, by the way, again, colors do something for me. So this is just really fancy and pretty. But all of these citations or these attestations or these quotes, there are a lot. When I get to Galatians, especially here, Galatians 3:16, this is now the promises were spoken to about Abraham. So this is speaking about and seeds. And so I can see where this is attested to here, and pull this particular version up. I think this is so cool. I love this this Bible Book Explorer. For me, it helps a whole lot because I'm covering the passage, or where else is this brought up anywhere else? Because again, as we said, these verses that we come to, be it the New Testament, Old Testament, they're just not just there because they are part of a greater narrative. And so I want to see where this was attested to, where it was spoken of, and why. To give me a greater understanding also what's being spoken of in the New Testament. So those are my two favorite things, just the way you laid this thing out. And by the way, you can save your layouts. Can I be honest? Chauncey helped me with this stuff a few days ago. I've been saving layouts and did not know where to go find those layouts. And I'm like, I've been saving these layouts. Why is my layouts? And so if you go back over here, let me close all of this out. If I come back over here to where it's got, now my layouts or my deals are at the top instead of the left. I'm just used to them being up there. And so you can, with Logos 10, you can put them on the left side or the right. But if I click layout and I go over here, I can look and see where I have this. And so matter of fact, I can just look at the one that I just got through doing just a few seconds ago and go back over to this one. Where'd it go? Oh, it moved my entire screen back over here. I don't know why I just did that. My whole screen went back to my other screen. But if I want to go to, where was I at earlier? Let me go to the one that I use always every day. Then it'll pull that up. I don't know why it keeps doing this. There it is. So let me pull it back over here. I don't know why this is doing it. I'm not a tech person. I got to figure this out. But
it's going to the screen that you designate as your main screen. So that's why it's going to that one.
Okay. What is that? There it is. Okay. But this is my this is just kind of like my everyday basic setup. I do have a Hebrew setup. I've got a Greek setup. I have one with different doctrinal issues or doctrinal stances like dispensationalism or Calvinism or Arminianism. And so if I want to kind of look at it from their standpoint, also one of the other things that you can do that's also cool with Logos, they have these different courses that you can take where you can just sit and listen to, because reading a book sometimes is difficult. But when you have someone speaking and you hear them say it's just a little bit, and you just rewind it. Okay, that makes sense. Or if you want to take a Hebrew course or a Greek course, you can actually hear the person speaking, which makes it a lot easier than just simply reading it. So those are my favorite things that I love to do, guys. Those are the things that I'm into right now. Also with the advanced timelines, I used that the other day, and I'm still kind of getting the grasp of that, and I'm trying to make it bigger so I can use it in the live stream demonstrations. So what I'm probably going to start doing is just copying it and then pasting it so that we can just kind of have a little static view of it. That way it won't kind of move around. But those are probably my three favorite things right there.
Awesome. That is great. And Corey, if we don't give these people some pricing quickly, we're going to be in trouble.
How do I stop sharing the screen?
There should be a button at the top that says stop sharing.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Yeah. There we go.
All right. Now, so and Corey, we're doing good on time. We said we'd be finished by 7:30. We had a few more minutes. Okay. And I am now, I got to show one feature I forgot, Corey. And y'all, please don't be mad at me. Please don't. It's real quick, though. It's really, really quick. And what I want to show you, and then I'm going to give you pricing, because this one may tip you to the edge. If you're teetering as to whether or not you want to get logos or not, this one is going to say, okay, I'm ready. Go ahead and get this logos. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. It's going to be really quick. I promise. I have a Bible and a commentary right on the screen, Bible on the left, commentary on the right. All right. Let's say I'm in my commentary, or, and I want to take some information and put it in a Word document, because, you're preparing a lesson, writing a lesson, or you're just doing some study notes. You want to put it in a Word document. So I'm just going to select something from my commentary. Right. So I'm going to click and drag, right. I'm going to click copy. You see it, copy. And now I am going to open up this Word document. See the blank page, right? So I copied it from the other one. I'm going to right click and paste. Boom. Okay. You see that? Nobody probably got excited about that. But check this out. I scroll down to the bottom. Logos is giving me the citation, is citing the reference for me. And all I did was copy and paste. Mm-hmm. If anybody is in school, ever had to write a paper, You're an author and you had to cite your references, it's here. Not only that, it gives you, I want to say like 15, don't hold me to that number, but about 15 different citation styles. So you tell it whether or not it's Arabian or what have you, and Logos is automatically going to cite that style for you. All right, I told you that was going to be cool. I tell you that was, hopefully that was worth the wait. Now, let's get into.
Before you go,
yes, sir. Yes,
two
sir.
things. You guys ought to probably consider hiring my man Dutch. he is the biggest. He's probably got a Logos tattoo across his chest. He is the biggest Logos supporter. He's always talking about Logos, and so everybody want to hire this guy. But then also, let me say this: in all seriousness, there's a lot of bad teaching out there. There's a lot of people that just have no business before us, and sometimes you get caught up in hearing what they say. The best way to keep the people that help to keep a church in check or to keep a preacher in check is the people who they are preaching to, teaching to, speaking to, because if they have a hunger and a desire for the word of God and they're not interested in the fluff, but they're interested in the real thing, well, then you're going to find teachers kind of bending and acquiescing. But the way that you do that, if you really, truly love the Lord, you're going to love his word. And so if you can, I can't tell you how valuable this is. I think you all already see that, but I think this is something that you really need to consider, something just to kind of help you with your understanding. And if you're like me, once you learn something else or have a nice tool, you want another one and another one and another one. That's how I went from the free version. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then go to the paid version, even though the paid version just sit there for a couple of months. I'm like, wow, this is too much. This is cool. Now what I do, I didn't realize it's not that difficult to even get the free tutorials and so forth. But don't let yourself miss out on anything that can help you grow in your understanding of the word. So I just want to say that first, Johnson.
Great word. So I put in the chat the link to, we create a special web page. It's logos.com/Corey Minor. And that's the page that you're seeing on the screen right now. So I'm going to walk you through the different options and help you decide which one is best for you. Okay. So I even put the discount code up there. The discount code, just really quickly, it has two of them. One has a U in it and one has an N in it. The one with the N is the one you use if you're a new Logos customer. Even if you have the free version, if you haven't paid any money for Logos, use the one with the N. If you already have Logos, use the one with the U. So the code is minor N624 or minor U624. But if you add it from the cart here, it'll automatically put the code in for you. So here we go. We have we're starting with the bronze. Who is the bronze for? The bronze is for someone who's kind of just starting out in Bible study. You know, you probably won't do as much Greek and Hebrew. It has most of the features you've seen today. And it's a really, really good starting point for someone who's starting the Bible. The regular price is $630. But with the 25% discount, it's $472.49. Or if you choose to do the monthly payment option, it's $39.86 a month with 13 future payments. Now, we don't do, it's not a credit check or anything like that. You go online here and you provide a credit or a debit card. And if you get the bronze, it's going to take out the $39.86 for today. And then every day or every month on the 27th, which is today's 27th. So every month on the 27th, it's going to take out that $39.86 until it's paid off. Now, like someone put in the chat, that monthly amount does include a $5.99 processing fee, which is already built into the monthly. So if you wanted to pay your Logos off early, you can, no problem. And then you'll save a little money on those fees. I just want to be upfront about the fees here. So that's bronze. Silver. The silver library gives you pretty much all of the features that we've been talking about tonight, with the exception of that print library scanner feature. So silver is for someone who, it's called the word study library. So it gives you all the Greek, all the Hebrew, all of the features that you've seen, again, except for the print library feature. It's good for someone who's a little more advanced in their Bible study. Regular price is $1,000, but with the 25% discount, it's about $750 or $52.93 a month for 15 future payments. The silver, again, if you're a little more advanced than silver, other than bronze, but you're not quite a minister or in the ministry category, which is what gold is, we recommend the silver for you. All right, let's go to gold. Gold is what we call the ministry library. So, and all of these build on each other too, by the way. So if you get gold, that includes silver, and that includes bronze. If you get gold, now you have all of the features that Logos has to offer. So you get the print library scanner feature, everything you've seen today, you're going to get that in gold. The regular price for gold is $1549. or 25% off, or $1162.49, or $70.62 a month. So it's going to give you additional resources, more preaching and teaching resources, because again, it assumes you're a little more advanced in your study. You may be an associate pastor, you're a deacon, you're a Sunday school teacher, you have a YouTube channel where you teach the Bible, or you don't have to be, but if you're at that level, gold is for you. Now, here's a special deal I want to say about the gold. And it's on the webpage. You see it's in yellow. It says to order the live stream Logos 10 Gold monthly special, you have to email me to get that. So what that is if you want the gold, you can get it for about $52 a month. So basically the same price as the silver. We can extend the months out a little bit more on the gold. And so if you want that, though, you can't get it from this webpage. You have to email me, say, hey, Chauncey, I want to get the gold for the $50 some odd a month, and sign me up. So I would recommend, if you're going to pay monthly, why not just go ahead and get the gold, because it's the same price as the silver on a monthly payment plan. All right. So someone asked, how long is the plan? Oh, it's good through the end of this month, Sunday, June 30th. Then it goes back to regular price. We want everybody to go and get it today. All right. So what's after gold? After gold is platinum. Platinum is the academic version. So anyone who's in seminary, you're in Bible college, you're looking to go to Bible college, you're looking to go to seminary, or you just want to do more academic level studies, you want to be at core minors level, let's say, you're super smart level. No, you're super smart with all of them, but it's the academic library. And with the discount is $16.12 or $86.70 a month if you want the academic one. So again, it's going to give you everything in the previous versions, but you're going to get more of it, more Greek and Hebrew studies, more commentaries, more dictionaries, more journals, more all of that. You're going to get more. Now, if you want to be at the pastoral level, you want to be at the diamond. So if we have any pastors on this on this recording, we recommend you get diamond, because we jokingly say, Corey, your wife probably says that diamond is a girl's best friend, but we say diamond is a pastor's best friend. That's the way to remember it. Diamond is a pastor's best friend. So if you want to be at the pastoral, it's going to give you more counseling books and more theology books, more of everything. It's $25.87 or $113 a month. Let's go last level. Now we do have one couple higher than that. We'll stop at portfolio. Portfolio is for those who are working on their doctorate, or you want to do more doctoral level studies. This is the one you need to get for that. Is portfolio $37.34 or about $162 a month. Doctoral, that again includes all of it. So 25% off. My recommendation, my encouragement is, if you're thinking about getting logos and you're thinking about getting a certain package, let's say you're thinking about getting gold, with 25% off, I would strongly consider getting platinum. This isn't the salesman coming out of me. I'm just trying to be practical with you and recognizing the discount that you're getting here. If you're looking at it, go ahead and get the higher one, because here's an example I like to give, Corey. When you have kids that are like teenagers, right? You want to buy them some shoes, and let's say your teenager wears a size 9. You're not going to go to Foot Locker and get a size 9, because by next week he's going to be, or she is going to be, a 9.5 or a 10. I will look at it that way. Get something that you can grow into in terms of your library. You want something that has a more extensive library that you can grow into, especially with 25% off. Now, if you already have logos, you're probably wondering, well, do I get a discount too? Well, yes, you do. Again, you just use that other code, and I'll show you how to do that. When you do that, log into your logos account at logos.com/Corey Minor. Log into your account. And when you add these packages to your library, you're actually going to get a discount because you already have logos. So you're going to get a discount because you already have logos, and you're going to get 25% off of that. All right. So I'm going to just walk you through the process, because some people get a little confused with this. So let's say you're on logos.com/Corey Minor. You want to get diamond, let's say. I'm going to click add to cart. So once I click add to cart, it says that my cart is empty. Did I not add it to cart? Let's click that. It must be a glitch in our cart. We will get that fixed ASAP. But all you have to do is add it to your cart. Let me try logging out of this here. Hold on, let me try one other thing. And let's go back to logos.com/Corey Minor. I am logged out. I want to click add to cart. Okay, there we go. All right, it was messing up because I was logged in under my employee account. All right, so once you add it to your cart, you look over here at the bottom where it says coupon code. You see Minor N624. It automatically added the discount code for you. Again, so you don't have to really remember that if you get it from logos.com/Corey Minor. So again, if you're an existing customer, sign in first and add it to your library or to your cart, and it's going to automatically add the U for you for a new customer, for an upgraded customer. Now let's go over here on the left-hand side. If you want to pay it in full, one price or one payment, knock it out, you can choose that one at the top. If you want the monthly payment option, you click the second little button and you tell Logos how many payments you want. If you want the cheapest monthly price, you go with the higher number of months. Some of you say, well, I don't want to pay for it for 13 months. I just want it for 4 months. Well, you click 4 and Logos does the calculation for you and you just go through the checkout process. So that's all you have to do. Just add it to your cart. It'll automatically add the discount code for you. If you want to get the gold for the $50 a month, you have to email me, and that's on the website as well. You have to email me for that, and I will do it for the extended number of months. You get it for $50 a month for the gold. Most people, on an average basis, get the gold on average.
What if you already have the gold and you want to go to the next level platinum? I see someone ask that question.
Great question. So you want to be logged into your account on logos.com/core-reminder. At the top right where it says sign into your account. Let's say you already have gold, you want to go to platinum, you add platinum to your account. Logos is going to do the math for you. You're going to get a discount because you already have Logos, and you're going to get a 25% discount as well. So Logos does all the calculations for you.
Someone asked a question. I can answer this question. Can I add this once I have Logos? Can I put it on different computers? I have it on this computer on the main. I've got it on my laptop. I've got it on this one as well, and my iPad. So yeah, because it's all coming from your same account.
Exactly. And not only that, Corey, you can, even if you have a Mac and let's say your spouse has a PC, it works on both. It doesn't matter. And speaking of that, you can put Logos, as you just said, you can put Logos on as many devices as you own. There's no limit. The only stipulation is that you can't share your login information with a buddy, right? Yeah. But you can share it with the spouse. Spouses can share the same license. You just use the same email address and password. So you can put it on your phone. You just download the Logos app on your phone, put your email address and password. All of your gold, platinum, or portfolio resources will be on your phone. And the thing about it is they all sync together. So if you highlight, let's say, some text on your phone, that highlight is going to show up on the desktop. It's all syncing together. All of those documents that you save, they're going to be on all of those devices. So Mac, PC, doesn't matter, iPhone. We even have, we love you so much at Logos, we even made it for you folks to have those ragged Androids. That's how much we love you. That's how, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you love the Lord. That's why.
That's right. You know, the truly saved people have iPhone. No, I'm just kidding. I'm truly just kidding. It works perfect on the Android. So Android, iOS.
I think some people don't realize that when you buy this is yours. You own this stuff, right?
You own it for life. There's no, re-up fee in a year or anything like that. You own the license. You own the license. So, oh boy, my Android folks are coming after me.
But listen, we pray for them all the time. We pray for them like we pray for folks that put salt and pepper on their grits. We pray for them.
Oh boy, and raisins and potato salad. That's another story. I do want to address a question that came up about the NASB. They said that's not in one of the packages. The Amplified Bible is not. Due to some licensing issues, we weren't able to put some of those Bible translations in the package, but you can go to logos.com and purchase. I think the Amplified is like $9.99, so it's not a huge cost. But once you purchase that and add it to your account, then it does become a part of your library. I would just ask if you make any purchases at all, any additional resources, use that same code and I get credit for it. So I appreciate your support on that. And again, just go to logos.com/core-reminder for these what we call base packages, and you can get the NASB or any of the Bibles that may not be up there. Again, they're fairly reasonable in your costs, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I would say this, guys. And I'm mindful of cost and the economy. When I first got this is just my stupidity. When I first got Logos, I had already purchased Accordance, and then when I'm looking at Logos, I'm thinking, wow, you talk about a waste of money. But I went ahead and got it, and wasn't rich then, not rich now, but I saw it as something that, well, especially for me, I needed it. And if you feel like you just really can't go for 70 a month or 50 a month or what have you, even if, now I'm not trying to talk you down, but even if you have one of the smaller packages, one of the things that you can do, because I started off at I forgot what I started off at and then worked up, but you can also do this, add books, add other things, because you'll know what you want. And I think when you do like the little comparison thing on the website, you kind of get a list of features that are in one package right below and one package right above it. And so if you have to start with a smaller package and upgrade again. Now, let me ask this, Chauncey, do you think that we'll probably be doing this again sometime in the future?
You mean what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
if you ask me nicely and promise to like the Cowboys.
Oh, this is our last time. Y'all say goodbye.
Well, I'll show grace. Grace is biblical, so I'll show grace, and we'll do it again. Anytime, Corey, just let me know. Yeah, absolutely.
Because the reason why I say this is, if for some reason you start off and you take advantage of the discount right now, and let's say we come back in a few months or several months or whatever, and there's another offer, well, then take advantage of it then. But I want you guys to, I really do want you guys to get this, because you don't need to be dependent on anyone except for your own time. The only limitations you should have when it comes to studying the Bible is your own time. And since you have a wealth of resources that are there, I say take advantage of it. That way you can say, hey, no, Corey, you were wrong about this. You said this about the Hebrew. That's just wrong. And how do I know? Because I was on Logos the other day, and Logos disagreed with you, Corey, which means Logos is wrong, but that's okay. So, but you want to be, the only thing that should limit you is time and resources. The resources part is out of the way, and so time should be there. So I would say do whatever you can to get one of the packages. If you have to upgrade later or add books as you go. I add books all the time. I have 3 books in my cart right now. So
that's awesome. And Corey, I did see a couple of folks in the chat saying that they weren't able to find logos in the App Store. And so again, I don't have an Android, but I did go to the Google Play Store web version, and I typed in Logos Bible Software free app, and I do see it right here. So I'm not sure
how you have to do it. You can't go to, if you got a Mac, if you got a laptop or something like that, or desktop Mac, what you do is you just go to logos.com, and then you download it from there.
Right. And for people who purchase it, you'll get an email immediately after your purchase, and in that email will be a link to download the software. Right. So for your laptop or PC, your laptop or desktop rather, you'll have a link to download that. But if you're on your phone, your Android or iOS phone, you have to get it from the App Store. Yeah. And so you might want to, for Android users on the Google Play Store, you may want to type in Logos Bible Study app. That's what you're seeing on the screen right now. So it's showing me the web version of the Google Play Store. I'm assuming that it's duplicated on the Android store or with your Android phone. So it should be there. If you truly can't find, please text me or email me and say I have an Android, but I can't find it in the App Store. Let me know, and I will get Logos to get working on that right away.
Yeah, when we put it back on the channel, because there are going to be some people that are going to watch this later. All that little information, I'll try to put the information on there that Charles is talking about. To use this this code or this website, this address to make it helpful as well.
Great. And someone did come back and say they were looking for accordance and not logos. So hey.
Yeah, don't look for accordance.
No, we don't want you to look for accordance. We want you to go to logos. We want you to go to logos. So, but hey, Corey, we're right at 7:35 Central Time. We're kind of right on schedule here. So, man, thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you and your audience, and having some fun with you and your audience. Man, it's been great, man. I really appreciate it. Logos.com/Corey Minor. If you want to email me, especially if you want to get that gold package, it's Chauncey.Almond. That's like the nut, but 2 L's at logos.com. And just say, I want to get the gold for, the $50. My phone number was in the chat. Text me if you run into any issues, and I'm here to serve you. I just want everyone to have your Bible study enhanced by using Logos. That's the goal. Quite honestly, that's the goal. So thank you, Corey. I really appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys also for being here.